What's going on, everybody? I have another word. They just jumping all out all over the place, right? So now we're going to do Proverbs 16, the entire chapter, and I'm going to finish off with 17, chapter 17, verse 1. Okay? So I'm going to just hop right into it. The preparation of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. So God is saying off the rip, I place everything within you from the beginning. I place everything within you from the beginning, and I open it up like little tiny gifts as necessary. You know how you open the big gift, and then there's a smaller box and a smaller box and a smaller box and a smaller box, right? So that's the type of thing that God is doing for you, right? He says that everything you need, I put within you, and it's for you to break down each level until you get to that one beautiful nugget, which is your core. Right. Verse 2, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. So God said it don't matter how good you think you are. He weighs your heart against that feather. He says, you can do a lot of deeds, but you can hate doing deeds, right? You could smile and do favors for people, but all the while hate doing favors for people. You can hate the people you're doing favors for, but you do it with a smile. So God says, no, it doesn't matter. I weigh your heart, right? I check you out. And I alert people to, if you are, right, hiding hate behind a smile, hiding disdain behind a smile. Verse 3, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. So if what you do is for God, it will have meaning. It will be everlasting, if it's needed to be everlasting. And it will produce fruit. It will be blessed. And it will, when I say fruit, it will be fruitful for people if it's necessary for it to be fruitful for them. And then you will get your monetary gain from it, right? So all around, whatever you commit to God and He established it, it's going to be a plus win-win and profitable and fruitful for all involved. Verse 4, the Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So this is where people don't understand. God made those little glitches. God made the little bits of evil, right? Because He loves to play games. He would be so bored if He just had good things happening. Not good children, good things happening. Everything was just happy-go-lucky. Remember, I told you, God said He even surprised Himself. When He created the earth, He put little glitches in it along the way so He could have fun as well, so He could play with His children as well. So He tells you right here in verse 4 that He even created evil for Himself, right? Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, right? So for the coming of Jesus, He knew that the little wicked would be here because He created you at the beginning to be a glitch, right? Right. God just didn't know you would get this glitchy, right? But of course, He's God, so He has everything under control regardless, right? He loves surprises, but at the end of the day, God always is in control of everything, right? Verse 5, everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. So if you are afraid of God, if you understand that God rules everything, God reigns, then trust me, you will not be doing evil. You will depart from it if you have been doing evil. But if you truly do not have a fear in God and believe in God as the almighty ruler of everything, especially your soul, then, well, I don't know where you think He came from, right? I don't know why you think you'll continue on forever and ever. I just don't, I don't know. By mercy and truth iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord men depart from evil. When a man's ways please the Lord, He maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than great venues without right. A man's heart devises his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. So your heart tells you which way you want to go, but God says, He corrects you, right? Your heart may come up with the way that you want to go, but God says, no, that's not your path. Your heart may come up with a way, but God may say, you know what, that's kind of cool. Let's go your way for a little while. And He still jumps ahead of you and takes over your plan, right, and creates His own plan to bring you back to His, right? God says you will never veer from His plan. You will always make your way back to where He says, but He'll let you have a little fun yourself. He'll let you have a little fun yourself, but ultimately you're still going to go back and do what He said for you to do. This is the journey that you agreed to do with Him, so no matter what, you will not veer off that path. He'll always bring you right back to it, right? He may let you have a little fun, but He'll bring you right back to it, right? He'll let you take a little detour to see some of the stuff that you may be interested in, but He's going to bring you back to His original plan, regardless of how you feel, right? Better is a little with righteous than the great revenues without right. Verse 9, a man's heart devises his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. A divine sentence is the lips of the king. His mouth transgresseth not in judgment. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are His word. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. So, let me say that again. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. So, with that being stated, anybody that is in charge, your position must be ruled with righteousness. If it is not ruled with righteousness, God is going to come and take you down the worst kind of way. And as you can see, God has taken down all of this governmental figures who have been sloppy rulers, who have been tyrannical rulers, who have been dishonest rulers, who have been unrighteous, period, right? So God has taken down all of these rulers. No one will be left in place that is unrighteous. It doesn't matter what position you are. It doesn't matter where you work at. It doesn't matter what you do. If you are in any type of position and you are unrighteous, God is currently removing you because you are hindering people from being successful in their positions at work. You are keeping people from being successful in their life because you are holding a position where you determine what can take place and cannot take place in a person's life, but you're abusing that authority. So God says, absolutely not. If I have to give you a heart attack and kill you, if I have to give you an aneurysm and you can't even move any longer, that's what I got to do. So that's a warning for you government officials. Heart attacks and aneurysms, right? Strokes, all that good stuff. God said, get your ass out of those governmental offices like He told you, or you shall be removed with a handicap. Doesn't matter to Him, or death. He doesn't care, right? A divine sentence is in the lips of the king, right? So God just gave you a judgment, a warning, a sentence. You will have a stroke, not be able to walk and talk again, or you will have a heart attack and die. For all of you governmental officials who He has said, get your asses out of His office now, especially the one in New York, right? It is an abomination to the kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. Righteous lips are the delight. Righteous lips are the delight. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him and that speaketh right. So everybody loves a king that is honorable. Everybody loves a king who does what he says he's going to do. If I promised you that I was going to make sure your bellies were full every night, then an honorable king will do that. An honorable king will not step on everyone to feed himself. An honorable king will feed his people and then whoop his own ass for not having his own portion, right? Watching his people eat while he's starved. That's a true king. But guess what? That king has to get his ass whooped because he didn't prepare properly for him to have a meal as well, right? Right. So a great, excellent king is going to make sure his people and himself have food, right? Over anything, right? Because we can always build some type of shelter, but our bellies gotta be full. Gotta be. What's the point of having a house and we starving? Thank you. So a great king will always make sure his people can eat. You have to eat. You have to. How you gonna survive, right? Can't survive without food and water. You can survive without shelter. Can't survive without food and water, right? And that's where an excellent king is. He has enough for his people and he has enough for his household. Right. But if he does not have enough for himself, he better make sure his people are eating. Right. And then one of his people to bring him a plate. Amen. Right. So now where was I? 14. The wrath of a king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. In the light of the king's countenance is light, and his favor is a cloud of the latter rain. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather than to choose? Excuse me. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather than to be chosen than silver? So what that was saying is, wisdom is way better than gold. Understanding and being chosen by God is way better than silver. So do not put your stock into jewels. Do not put your stock into monetary gain. Put your stock into wisdom of God, understanding and being chosen by God to accomplish an assignment, because that's the greatest thing ever. And like I said, an assignment could be something small, but who doesn't want to be chosen by God for something? I mean, if you're never chosen by God for anything, that means he ain't never paid you no attention, and you're not his kid, and that is horrible, right? Pride goes before the... Oh, excuse me. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather than to be chosen than silver? 17. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. So take the high road, right? The good people are trying to get away from the evil, but the evil is not allowing that, and that don't make no sense, right? We don't come down and interfere with your evil. I don't bring my church to your evil, so why are you bringing your evil to my church? Amen. How much better is it to get wisdom, right? How much better is it to get wisdom, right? The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. So when you remove yourself from evil, you preserve your soul, right? That's why evil is chasing, because they have no soul. They want a soul. They want to try to take the good down for their soul. You can't do that, right? It'll never happen, right? Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So all of you were very prideful in 2020. All of you have been very prideful up until now, but your fall is coming very soon, dear summer, right? So don't worry about it. You have all been very prideful. You have all been high-fiving. You have all been slapping all kinds of five and all of that stuff, and talking all kinds of crap and junk, and patting yourself on the back. Please understand, pride goeth before destruction, right? Destruction is coming your way because you was highly prideful. A haughty spirit before a fall, yes. So you are conceited, big-headed, and prideful. Well, here comes destruction in a janky spirit, right? This is where the deadness starts to set in, the darkness starts to set in within your body, within your soul, within your mind, within your spirit. Because all of the destruction you tried to place forth on God's babies is coming back at you full force. So now you're feeling like, you're feeling that pressure, right? That whole body pressure is coming in, right? And once that whole body pressure comes in, that is your haughty spirit feeling the fall. You're feeling the fall right now. And then the destruction will start to take you down. You will start to lose everything you own. And then the last thing be your mind. Excuse me. It'll be your mind, then the last thing your body. Now, God might make you lose your body before your mind. We'll see what he does, right? Right. Better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. So y'all should have been hanging with me instead of talking junk about me. Now, you was with the proud and dividing spoil. You was with the proud counting your chickens before they hatch. You was with the proud counting my dollars. I don't know why you was counting my dollars. You got my bank account number? You got my my bank card or something? You got my checkbook? No, you don't. So you shouldn't have been counting my money. You should have been counting your money, which is none, right? Right. Over there counting my money is why all you have is total destruction in your life now. Because you was counting my money. I don't know why you was counting my money. Your name ain't on none of my accounts, right? He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in the Lord, happy is he, right? Happy is the man that trusts in God. Happy is the man who allows God to lead him. Wise is the man who follows God's instruction. Absolutely. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increases learning. And then now you wonder why I want to stay away from you people. You wonder why I'm not out there twerking. You wonder why I big up my husband. I'm supposed to be prudent, right? I am supposed to be approved, right? When it comes to people outside of Christianity, I am supposed to be approved. God said it right here in Proverbs 16, verse, where we go? Verse 21, right? Verse 21, I'm supposed to be approved towards anyone who's not a Christian. Absolutely. I'm not supposed to pay you no attention. I'm not supposed to give you any time of day. I'm supposed to stay out of any places that you go to, and you're supposed to stay out of places that I go to. We are supposed to be separate. If you are evil, you're supposed to stay in your evil corners, and I am a Christian, I'm supposed to stay in my Christian corners. Absolutely. But the evil wants to come in and mix in with the Christians. So we as Christians, of course, we embrace you because we want to convert you, right? We try to tell you the right way, like, yo, this is the Bible. This is what we believe in. This is the right way. This is God's earth. So it is the right way, regardless of what you say. Now, are you interested in this? No, you're not. You want to be evil? Then please leave our establishment because we're not at yours. No, you don't want to leave our establishment. You want to hang out there, so then we're forced to ignore you. And then you show your ass, you show out, you get on our nerves, and then we have to pay you some attention and talk to you. And then, right, we let you know, excuse us, you don't want to be one of us, so could you please leave? And you're still like, no. So then we go back to ignoring you. And then you throw your little temper tantrums again, and this becomes a cycle where Christians have separated themselves from non-Christians, and then the non-Christians will not leave the Christians alone, so we're forced to ignore you. You're always in a Christian's presence knowing you're not a Christian. Christian does not come to your evil parties. Y'all bring y'all evil behinds to the Christian parties, right? And then we're forced to just ignore you, but understand that you're there, right? Because we're not going to show out because you're there, right? We're going to continue to enjoy ourselves, but then you begin to show out in our establishments, right? Who is the antagonist? Who is the bigot, right? You hate religion, and you bring your I hate religion behind two religious parties, right? And force people who are religious to put up with your nonsense, and you know you're not religious at all, right? Right. So who's the antagonist and who is the bigot? Who is the hateful person who is showing hateful actions? The non-Christian who comes to Christian parties, right? The non-Christian who comes to Christian parties is the bigot, the antagonist, and the troublemaker, right? Because you have no intentions of being a Christian. You're just there to try and make people uncomfortable at their party. And that's not cool, right? And we have the right to separate ourselves from you, but then you call us bigots. Okay, well, whatever, we are. So are you, right? You're just there to be a troublemaker, not to join, right? So we have the right to separate ourselves, and then you tell us, no, we don't. Yes, we do. We don't come to your establishments, but you continuously come to ours, right? We have the right to separate ourselves. When you want to separate yourself as evil, you do. And us Christians do not come to your establishment. But when we separate ourselves, the evil runs right behind us and says, no, we're going to be up in your face whether you like it or not. Listen to what I just said. You evil people are antagonists, right? You're disgusting, right? You're irritating, right? You won't be around much longer, right? Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the instruction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teaches his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Pleasant words are as the honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. He that laboureth for himself, for his mouth craveth it of him. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and his lips there is a burning fire. An evil man's lips is like burning fire. He craves all of the evil. He craves the chaos that his lips creates. That's why his lips remain on fire, so he can continue to spew hate, to have chaos around him, right? Because that's what an evil man loves. Chaos, destruction, folly. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is a burning fire. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separated chief friends. So people that run around whispering about other people, they always break up relationships. They do. They do. They love sowing strife. They love to have people going at it with each other. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. He shutteth his eyes to devise froward things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. The hoary head is a crown of glory, if it be found in the way of righteousness. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. Chapter 17, verse 1. Better is a dry morsel and quietness therein than a house full of sacrifices with strife. Right, God said, I'd rather eat a dry piece of bread that's almost a crouton before I put up with any type of strife where I have to sacrifice my happiness for strife based off of somebody else's issue with themselves. You have low self-esteem. Ain't no way another person is supposed to be dealing with strife because you hate yourself. There is no reason why you hate your mother, but another good mother got to pay for it by losing her child because you hate your mother, so you take that child away from that mother. There is no reason why a woman should be disrespected because she is faithful to her husband. This is all evil. This is all disgusting. This is all folly. This is all that takes place in America. Hate, adultery, fornication, disrespect, desolation. Everything negative takes place right here in America. And guess what you do? You love it. That's the shit you love. Right. Go look at your movies. Go listen to your music. Right. Go look at my frames. Right. Go look at these salaries. Right. For sports and entertainment and movies and all that good crap. Right. And fun amusement parks. Look at all these salaries that these people make. Now look at the salaries of the teachers. Look at the salaries of the doctors. Look at the salaries of tutors. Look at the salaries of hell, anything that's helpful, right? Housekeeping services. Look at their salaries and stuff. All the stuff that people need to survive. Look at the grocery store clerks and stuff like that. Their salaries are garbage. But somebody who's throwing around balls all day, playing with their balls all day, making millions. While people who get up and actually go to work every single day and work hard and put up with bull crap get paid $10 an hour, $7 an hour. I don't even know, but it's ridiculous. Everyone in America should be making $40 an hour as minimum wage. And you know why they're not? I told you. Ridiculously frivolous salaries. That's it. Frivolous salaries. Point blank period. Right. So with that being stated, I have read Proverbs chapter 16, the entire chapter, and then I stopped at chapter 17, verse 1. Y'all need to take a better look at yourselves, because y'all character is garbage. You're garbage people. You want to be garbage people. Dear garbage people. Dear people who love to antagonize Christians. Go sit your ass down some damn way. And that's your last one.